Hello, good evening, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch Pretenders Season 3 Group 1 match between Alpine Wolves and Mild Esports. I'm 3.007, Battletag 3. Joined by PMA David.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm
Cool.
Hold David. I'm a Twitch streamer of my own.
Love it. So, we are here on Eichenwald, bringing you the first map of 4 for this Overwatch Pretenders match. Again, we have Alpine Wolves. They're going to be showing up in defense in the blue, with Mild Esports on the right in the red. David, what do we got coming out from these team comps right now? Specifically Alpine Wolves defense, which is definitely locked in.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to be running some sort of flying goats composition, but it's interesting because they have the Ana over the Zed. So we're going to see how Maish positions himself so he can get that LOS onto his tanks, so that he can potentially provide more healing and Nathan can play a little bit more aggro.
Nathan presumably going to be jumping around a lot on that Winston, and yeah, you typically expect the Reinhardt. Comparatively on the red for Mild Esports, we're going to be seeing a very nasty 2-2-2 with a Sombra on XYS, and Juice bringing the Hanzo for some probably nasty shield break and maybe some sick tree trunk headshots. Let's see what goes on now.
So the Sombra's trying to flank behind and try and get a hack potentially off. Nathan drops in though.
And wow, there it goes. Looks like there's already going to see some points percentage. Massive nade comes out. That's going to be bonus healing for everyone on Mild Esports as they flank to the left.
But the Ryan got separated early on.
That's going to be a big shield loss for Mild Esports. They're probably going to get forced out here now, not having...
Yeah, I think Nathan's just going to cleave them all to death.
Yeah, big rectangle of 2,000 HP. Missing that hurts.
But it looks like the Summer might be trying to spawn camp Ana. No, actually, Rick's going to speed Maish back, so it doesn't look like Summer's going to have that opportunity to do that, though.
However, they have made a solid push towards their EMP. And ult-wise, that's, aside from a Primal Rage, one of the only things that's going to come online anytime soon.
Yeah, it looks like Samura's going to try and... Oh, she's on Maish right now. But Nathan peels back for her. Now they're starting to contest the point a little bit. See how Alpine Wolves deals with this.
The poke game is over and the engagement is in full, but Rita Rabbit again is going to be the first one to die. XYS does throw out their EMP, but that's going to be a good solid hit for a lot, but they're not really going to get anything out of it. No follow-up is there, and Alpine Wolves is going to make a short work of this, again, latest push, and now only 2 minutes, 20 seconds left for Mild Esports to make something of this.
Yeah, and they're going to swap over to that Pharah now, but look at Alpine Wolves' ults. They have that major combo, the Diva Bomb and Grab, and so they're probably just going to use those two ults this fight and try and get another team wipe. So let's see if Mild Esports will commit beat to it or not, but we'll see what happens. There goes the Grab, there goes the bomb, the beat comes out, the bomb gets two, massive.
Unbelievable. So despite the beats coming out, Solitude is able to pick up both supports from Mild Esports. Another push completely defeated. Only a minute 45 left now, but Mild Esports has managed to hold on to 4 of their ultimates, switching over to the Pharmacy. Going up against the Primal Rage and the Barriers, they're in prime position to make a solid push on Eichenwald A.
Yeah, they have their major combo, they have that Grab Dragon. Let's see if they can get a nice fat grab and a nice dragon to go along with it in order to cap this point here.
Solitude's Diva defense matrix with that newly debuffed interval between bringing it up, that's going to be the key to determining whether and their positioning. Are they going to be able to get off some kind of ult eating? But there
the Shatter comes out!
Big Shatter! And this is going to be Richie finally picks apart Nathan with that anti-
Rita Rapper got purpled there. Oh, but he gets the nano, so he's going to stay alive.
Big solid nano, he is going to make it in there, but he gets slept and Juice. No Grab Dragons today as he is taken out, but XYS is going to pick off the Brigitte before anything can be made of it.
But the Mercy gets the res. So now it's a 6v4, and a loading goes down, so making it 6v3. I think that Alpine Wolves might be trying to go. Nope, Nathan goes back in though. The beat comes out. And Nano goes in. Not the best barrage there. Doesn't get anyone.
XYS tosses out the barrage. They're not really going to get a lot out of it. Now here comes the grab, but they get eliminated almost immediately, and here comes the Dragons, but no one gets caught in it. Nathan is able to get away with the Primal Rage health boost, and
another res comes out. These reses have been massive. The grab for Alpine Wolves gets both tanks in it. But can't follow up though.
Big Shatter comes out, grabs Beal and Solitude on the Diva and the Brigitte. That's going to be a kill on Beal. But Mild Esports has yet to pick up a single tick from this map.
And Solitude picks up the auto. That could be a huge pick. Looks like Mercy's going to go down too. It might be looking like Alpine Wolves is going to hold here.
And we have now entered into overtime, and Alpine Wolves has only left to clear Hobbs off the map before they can claim a almost full hold on Eichenwald. Mild Esports did pick up a tick and a bit, but with their overtime spawn...
Just Farah. Nathan jumps into the air, flies, punches him in the jowl, and finishes off with a Tesla cannon.
Ooh, very tenacious defense from Alpine Wolves. Evidence of the fact that if you think you should contest and you have your teammates with you, definitely do it. Staggered kills coming out left and right, and Mild Esports unable to make a solid push onto Eichenwald A means that they have a very difficult stall ahead of them with only 41.6% of a point to defend. Now, given that Mild Esports has a very difficult hold ahead of them, let's see what they're going to be coming out with. And they are going to be going with a very common GOATS composition, a Zenyatta GOATS, relying on the Discord to make sure that whatever target they have selected is going to die rapidly.
Yeah, and personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the Zen Goats on Eichenwald defense first. I think it's susceptible to a few different things, like the pharmacy, and there's this nice high ground here, so the Rhine doesn't have as much mobility when it comes, and that's why we saw Alpine Wolves go Winston on the first defense to see how that worked. Personally, I don't think Rhine's better here, but we'll see how Mild Esports plays with it against what's looking like a pharmacy from Alpine Wolves.
Very traditional pharmacy dive. Rita Rabbit, however, getting a sick fire strike. That's going to be a big advantage in the ult generation game. And now with, you know, the 4-minute timer going down on Eichenwald, again, Mild Esports has their work cut out for them, and it's going to be the Alpine Wolves slightly rotating to the left, but now they're going to split their team, trying to separate up Mild Esports as well.
Yeah, and with that Farah composition, you kind of just want to play slowly, play for the spam, try and get those directs in, and then dive on to whoever Beal directs here. It looks like Beal separated out the Zen, but the Zen repositions back into that room there and gets away safely. And it looks like Mild Esports will hold this.
Wow, Mild Esports doing an incredible job of picking apart the Alpine Wolves offense there, targeting the key targets, the squishies, so to speak, and a bit of a nasty stagger, and wow, that is going to actually force Alpine Wolves to switch to a Zenyatta GOATS of their own.
Yeah, we're just going to see a mirror comp here. I think Alpine Wolves, but they're a very good Zen GOATS team, and I think they're just going to try and take the mirror here.
And yes, they are engaging directly, surging right up the right side of Eichenwald. They're going to be swinging away both Reinhardt's rocket hammers going away, but that's going to be barriers coming out now first from Suit Time.
And Alpine Wolves is backing up, but Beal gets caught out there. Didn't catch the speed, and the Shatter comes out, but it's blocked by Nathan, but they still pick up the frag on him. And it looks like Alpine Wolves is just going to have to try and get out here.
Definitive ultimate advantage from Mild Esports coming out as Suit Time and Rita Rabbit, having dispensed their ults in that particular fight, are now going to continue to generate. Meanwhile, Alpine Wolves is building up a repertoire of their own, and it looks like we'll be coming up on quite the ult apocalypse.
Yeah, it looks like we will have a pretty heavily ulted fight coming into this next fight here. Both teams coming up on their grab and bombs. Rally's coming up, Trans is coming up, but Alpine Wolves does have that beat there, and there goes out the grab, there goes out the bomb. Massive bomb! Combo executed to perfection, and there goes the rally, and it looks like Alpine Wolves will cap this.
Solitude being the individual recognizing that when you're going for a Poco, you gotta get as many as possible. Alpine Wolves is gonna take the map despite a trans that comes out from Esports with a reminder that burst damage rips right through Zenyatta's massively enhanced healing.
Play of the game.
So now, if I'm not mistaken from this particular situation, that means Alpine Wolves having won Eichenwald, we are going to go into the next map, and that is going to be Mild Esports' pick.
Yeah, it's Mild Esports is going to pick. They're going to be able to pick between Lijiang or Busan.
Now, David, do you have a particular preference for either of those maps?
I like Busan because Busan, personally, as a flex DPS player, Busan has the one point where I'm allowed to play Pharah on and not just be forced onto the brig. But Lijiang, you see, normally goats be goats, sometimes Pharah, but not really that much often, not too often. So I personally prefer Busan. Little
Yeah,
more variation right now.
the pharmacy has fallen just a tad out of style on the Lijiang Tower, but we might get to see a chance, depending on which of the particular Lijiang Tower maps are played. Maybe some sick Rhine Zarya action, maybe some less goats, but maybe, just maybe, on that one particular map, we'll see that good solid pharmacy come out.
Yeah, but that's only if we either get to the third point or if RNG is with us today.
Yeah, and who knows whether that's going to be the case. That being said, I think Mild Esports is going to have their work cut out for them, as Alpine Wolves made rather short work of both of their attacks, making relative again almost full hold on point A, and ultimately taking it from Mild Esports. What can Mild Esports do to combat what Alpine Wolves seems to have a very definitive goats advantage?
I'm not really sure what you can do about it right now. It seems like they're just getting bested. Maybe they could try and work a little bit better with their ults, but I'm not sure what you can do there.
Agreed. It's one of those nasty situations of, man, do you have the Junkrat? Do you have the Pharah? The Pharah we saw as being a pretty rough situation. Junkrat might be a solid option, but on Lijiang Tower, it's not really a really solid pick. It can be a difficult situation.
Now arriving at
Yeah, sometimes it works in control center because you just get those long hallways where you can just spam the nades. And, just the clunk, clunk, clunk. All of a sudden you got a rip tire. Fire in the hole.
Yep.
Probably get a 3-man with the goats. But, at this point, my guess is both teams send goats.
Yeah.
Maybe a pharmacy.
I would genuinely be surprised if either of these teams pulled out the pharmacy. Goats being such a solid option. Let's see if we get debated here. And the answer is... yes. Yada goats. Wait, whoa!
Wait
both
a
teams
second.
pull out the May!
Oh. But it looks like Mild Esports might stay on it.
Oh,
Fingers crossed. Oh, we got a McCree coming out.
goodness. My word. Alpine Wolves. I don't know. I refuse to comment at this point. We'll see what comps are
I feel like
coming
we're just getting debated.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, yep. Back to the Zarya.
Wait for
Okay,
it.
it looks like the May. Wait. Okay.
Yes! Oh,
We're staying on the
XYS
May.
coming out on the May! Meanwhile,
So-
Alpine Wolves doing a very solid Zenyatta Goats. Oh, and there we go. The May wall has come out. They have played their card. Everyone knows May's on the field at this point, and now it's going to be up to Mild Esports to initiate this poke game and turn it into a full engagement, and they have gone in. The wall comes out again. They've trapped some of the players. Can they get anything? Yes, they get Nathan and Beal! Unbelievable. XYS does die for their audacity, but that's really
it's even right now. This is a scrappy fight so far.
Brawl on the point.
Solitude
as we like
loses
to
his
say.
mech. Mage picks off Juice though. Let's see if they can get that Lucio. Lucio gets the bubble though. Staying alive. Zarya has
like
the Discord. Lodian picks off the Zen though. And Mace just deletes the Zarya. Lucio trying to stay alive on point. And it looks like the Rhine is trying to come back, but they're going to head back into their spawn. Alpine Wolves immediately pushes up here.
Good solid turnaround from Alpine Wolves, especially Solitude, sticking in there with the baby diva long enough to get her mech back for this next fight, which is hugely instrumental, showing us almost 70% advantage.
Yeah,
for
and Maish
their
already
op.
has trans.
Oof. This is the particular map.
Oh,
in
Nathan with a
Lijiang
nice
Tower.
charge.
Yeah, the nasty hold here that you can perform on Lijiang Tower unless you go around the far right side on this map for Mild Esports. This is going to be
Yeah.
a choke that you just can't get through.
They might swap off the May here, but they do have the male. Maybe we'll see a combo with the grab. No, here it comes. It comes out. But Maish transes it. Oh, but Elodian goes down.
And they do find some kills here. This could be the advantage that Mild Esports needs. Beal and the Reinhardt are going in, and a big shatter comes in. He's going to grab Juice. Huge, but no follow-up. There's none. But then there it is. Nathan grabs
Juice goes out, and the trans comes out from Mild Esports. They're going to try and aggress onto the point here. The rally comes out from Beal, and the beat comes out from Rick.
And that's going to be start kills.
Oh,
massive shatter.
Massive shatter. Nathan goes down. But it looks like Alpine Wolves is picking up more kills. And May goes down finally on the points.
Just a mechanical disadvantage there. Mild Esports had almost all of the ingredients needed to take that point and wrest control, but unfortunately Alpine Wolves just kept the pick count in their favor, and they're going to once again surge up to that choke point to do a little bit.
And look at the ults. Alpine Wolves has that combo. They have the grab bomb. See how they use it here.
Oh, and they're taking the right and the left side.
And there it is. 3-man. Bomb comes out. Gets no one though. XYS picks off 2.
Switching onto the Hanzo from the
Nathan
May.
gets 2 into the shatter though. Lodian picks off the Pharah. Alpine Wolves is staying in this fight. Ryan's very low. Goes down to Solitude. Solitude with the 3k. Grab comes out. Desperation grab. Sorry goes down. Now it's just Lucio on the point.
Oof, and that's going to be Soup Time getting eliminated. First round of this Lijiang Tower definitively towards Alpine Wolves with a 100-0 push.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Oh boy. Here's the other Pharmacy map that tends to be a little popular, and sometimes back in the day you used to see some sick double sniper action coming out here.
Yeah, let's see what both teams pick here. Looks like we're going to see a standard dive come out from Mild Esports.
And
From Alpine Wolves.
Yeah, Alpine Wolves dropping the very traditional dive. Man, almost like the classic Korean dive. And here we go. Oh, uh-oh, they dropped that little bubble a little too early. Possibly a bit of a misclick, and that's going to be no bubbles for either team as they enter into the poke phase of the engagement.
Yeah, and Pharah right now just trying to spam. Man, Maish actually sleeps the Pharah. Oh my god. But Lodian goes in a little too deep and dies. So he picks off that monkey though with a counter dive. And it looks like Alpine Wolves is going to be able to cap the point here.
Alpine Wolves takes again that advantage of ensuring map control before point control. They made sure that bridge was closed off to Mild Esports. They take the point and they're going to start building percentage, racking up the kills while Mild Esports has struggled to gain a foothold.
Now Lodian's coming back now, but he's on the Widow instead of the Tracer. So we're going to see how that works. See that Widow 1v1. Man, we're seeing some interesting compositions now. You know, I figured it was just gonna be goats, but
wow.
So how the tables have turned.
Huge shakeup from Mild Esports. They're going with I don't even know what to
Pocket
call
the
it.
McCree comp.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's a really good way to put it. Pocketed McCree. And that means XYS is going to have a lot of pressure on the shoulders. They're going to have to pull off some pretty amazing plays to make this work and destabilize Alpine Wolves from this point.
Nathan gets the nano, goes in with the blade from Beal. Beal gets 2 with Nathan. And Alpine Wolves, clean engagement, clean fight.
That's, you know, the always nice thing you want to see when you commit a relatively few amount of ultimates. And
Yeah,
yet
and they
the
held
whole
on
team
to that
fights.
beat, they held on to the Primal Rage, held on to Bomb. Oh boy.
Meanwhile,
That was so clean. Yeah.
Mild Esports is not showing anything other than a trans, which is a particularly difficult ultimate to work in this situation. They might even want to save it, hopefully pulling off a drive push, but the bomb
Solitude with
throws
the
out.
aggressive bomb. Nathan tries to push people around, gets 1 with it, and the purple came in. Oh, and here comes the trans.
Nasty situation. That's going to be XYS taking out Beetle.
Beat comes out
before-
from Rick. They're pushing onto the objective here. Purple onto the McCree. See if they can follow up on that. Shatter comes out, gets Nathan. Nathan goes down.
And it looks like this fight is going to go definitively towards Mild Esports' favor. They are going to take the point, making this a final match where they actually have a chance to take this map from Alpine Wolves and make this a bit of a best-of-3 match on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, but they're going to have to play perfectly here.
They have 2 ultimates coming online. They're going to have the Deadeye immediately. And Soup Time is very close to that barriers, meaning that in face of Maisha's Soul Nano, this might be a pretty good situation for Mild Esports to make a bit of a stand.
Yep, and then zoning Deadeye comes out, makes Alpine Wolves push back. And a rally coming up on the side of Mild Esports. Alpine Wolves is going to flank around to the left here. See if the Nano comes out from Maish. Nano goes out. They're pushing aggressively onto the Rhine. Juice goes down though before he can get the rally off. That's pretty big.
Massive headshot from King Rick, rather. The projectile damage coming in, and Solitude once again flexing their diva amazingness is going to be tanks doing some solid work, as now the kills start clapping back, but it's more Alpine Wolves picks coming in, and that's going to be them retaking control of the point. Mild Esports, despite their, again, tenacity, is not going to be able to take it back. Does a 99%. Somehow, XYS is still on the point. Ridiculous.
And the trans is coming out. They're going to be able to recontest this. Nathan shatters the Zen.
Oh, and that's both Bricky to rallies
Both
coming
teams, yeah, using their rallies. And Maish with a double with the anti-nade should finish off that fight for Alpine Wolves.
And there it is, Alpine Wolves takes possession of the point. The Grav comes out for the stalls. They're not going to be able to get through that, and that's Lijiang Tower going to Alpine Wolves.
Play of the game.
Oh, I kind of want to see this. It's going to be interesting. Gets the Nano. Oh, this was the Nano, or the Blade with the Nano Monkey.
Very
Just
solid.
the clean dive from Alpine Wolves.
Ah, the rare sextuple kill.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Nathan taking that team to victory, rather in that particular instance, and that is going to be once again Mild Esports now choosing the next map for the point. This is the quote-unquote match point. If Mild Esports cannot hold Alpine Wolves off and take a victory, Alpine Wolves will win the match and possibly go on to a 4-0 sweep, disastrous for a map differential tournament. And we, right now, are going to be moving into halftime while both teams have an opportunity to review their strategies, collect their wits, and move on to the second half of this tournament.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Welcome back to the Overwatch Pretenders game between Alpine Wolves and Mild Esports. This is still 3.007 casting with PMA David, and we're now here on Hanamura.
Yeah, so far, it's been a 2-0 in favor of Alpine Wolves. Hanamura is personally one of my favorite 2CP maps. You see a lot of variety actually on this map. You see a lot of Sim Bastion comps coming out, so we might see one of those. You see a lot of May comps, so has a lot of potential to be very interesting.
Oh yeah, I super love the Symmetries that come out on offense. I super love the Mays that come out on defense. Both of them introducing a very interesting timing game to Overwatch. You get that whole, man, when do I throw that portal down? Is the Rhine Shield going to hold? Is there even a Bastion on the field? What's going to happen? But meanwhile, on Alpine Wolves, which is coming out for defense right now, we are going to see a very interesting May composition.
Yeah, we're going to see it with the Ash. I'm assuming they want the Dynamite instead of the Widow one-shot potential. So they're kind of going for that burn effect versus the Widow headshot ability. And we're going to see a standard Zen Goats come out from the side of Mild Esports. And so they're just going to walk up here, and Elodian's going to try and get that wall onto the tanks here, and Melo's just going to rain down from above with the Dynamite.
And Elodian just sitting there waiting. Bam, there it is. They get almost
the
get
wall's
the
just
Reinhardt.
a little too early. And now Mild Esports is going to try and barrel onto the point. Nathan already with the Discord gets cleansed. Mela picks the Lucio though, and Zarya's cut out from the wall. And there looks like Alpine Wolves is going to easily pick off the Zarya. And now Mild Esports is down 2. Nathan with the charge, and it looks like we're in the cleanup phase now.
So the first May wall didn't necessarily trap out an individual on Mild Esports, but the second one absolutely did. And that was going to allow Nathan on the Reinhardt to get that sick, dirty charge, build up some incredible ult potential, and really Alpine Wolves taking an entire minute to defeat Esports' charge.
Yeah,
Really
and now we're going to see XYS and Juice swap over to the double snipers to try and pick off Mela. So Mela's going to have to play a little bit more conservatively, and a little bit more based off of his burn, and Juice already peeking that top left window, gets the burn from Mela, and now the wall comes out. Wall gets Reinhardt. He can't move. Can they clean him up though? Can't. So close. Oh, and Purple gets picked from the fire strike. Ryan gets a little bit low though, and they're just gonna try and back up. The wall gets the Reinhardt. Shatter gets nothing though, but they can potentially pick off the Rhine. Shatter gets 2, and it looks like Mild Esports is going to cap this first point.
Big picks for Mild Esports coming in. Clever use of the shield, baiting out that Reinhardt Shatter. It possibly even deleted a shield, but that's going to be open season for Reader Rabbit, who then follows up with their own charge. Mild Esports has the picks coming in. That's going to be a point A take on Hanamura. Massive time advantage. The game has begun. The Mild Esports beginning.
Yeah, and we're going to see Nathan swap over to the Hammond. This is very interesting. And we're going to see Mela swap over to the Widow to counter the other Widow. But Elodian's going to stay on that May to try and get that wall. And he's very close to Blizzard. So now Mild Esports is going to push in here. Mela picks off the other Widow though. And here comes the grab from Solitude. Gets a big one. And here comes the Mail. Mela gets the Zarya. And it looks like Alpine Wolves is going to push in here. This freeze gets 4 though. Oh my gosh.
Very punchy composition coming out from Alpine Wolves. No shields to speak of, but the barriers and the CC provided by Nathan on the Hammond, that's going to make very short work with a single May ult of Mild Esports.
Yeah, and what's so big about that May ult is it allows everyone else on Alpine Wolves to get their ultimates. Look at Nathan's charge now. Just after that swap, he's 85 to mines. That's pretty good. And Purple also has Nano, most likely for Nathan. And Monkey jumps in now onto Purple. Diva's peeling for him, and it looks like Mild Esports is starting to put pressure onto the point. XYS picks off Purple, but Nathan's in the back line. He gets the Hanzo, and now it's just a fight onto the point. And Rick drops beat, and it looks like, I'm guessing that Alpine Wolves will hold here. Melo gets that Monkey with the body shot, and Elodian's pressuring off the Widow. picks up the Widow, and now Alpine Wolves has fought Mild Esports back.
A very interesting push from Mild Esports. They almost seemed to have the advantage there, but seemingly couldn't coalesce into a solid take on point B, which on Hanamura is extremely difficult. You really need to have that solid push, that solid team fight victory to overcome an incredible spawn advantage.
No one can hide from my
Sights coming out now from the side of Mild Esports know exactly where that Widow is. They're going to dive her immediately. And I don't know if Mella's going to be able to get out from that one. Gets absolutely deleted by the tank line from Alpine Wolves. Now Elodian with a Nanoblade though. He gets the Widow. Can he get more though? Gets the Monkey. And the bomb coming out from Solitude, possibly for a remake, I could not tell. And the bomb coming out from Hobbs now, also for the remake, but doesn't get his. And Alpine Wolves has fought off Mild Esports once again.
And yet that costs them more ultimates than Mild Esports was willing to surrender. They have a Dragons, they have a Primal Rage, they're also going to have Barriers and Nano by the time this next fight comes into play. And with 3 minutes left, that is not an insignificant quantity of time. Mild Esports has a very excellent chance of taking Hanamura on point B if they can use their ultimates to maximum advantage, while Alpine Wolves has nothing.
D.Va comes in onto the other D.Va. So does the Monkey. The Monkey follows. Monkey primals a little bit early here. Tries to go into the Ana now. Looks like Alpine Wolves is just gonna peel back for him. But Ana is so far out of position, so gets pushed around so much and gets fragged by Reader Rabbit. And now Mild Esports up one here, but they can't really do too much about it, it seems. It just seems like the space created from Alpine Wolves is too much. But now, they get more picks and they're going back in. But Purple's alive now, and Nathan gets that Widow there. Nathan jumping back onto the point, the beat comes out from Rick. Large beat just to sustain for the fight there, and Solitude loses his mag. The Dragons come out, and Purple's just trying to keep his teammates alive here. But a loading goes down to the anti-nade from Budget Jonak. And Monkey's just kind of balling on the point against that team. Primals for the stall, gets the Nano too. So total stall here. Trying to see if he can get maybe a frag out of it though. Dragon comes onto the point from Mela. And Nathan actually picks off the Ana there. That's pretty big for this potential retake by Alpine Wolves. Has to get out though and dies. Double bomb coming out. Solitude actually picks off the baby D.Va with his. And now that two are gone from the side of Mild Esports, another pick, and it looks like Alpine Wolves will potentially hold this here. Another Dragon comes out from Juice, but actually catches Rick, but I don't think it's going to matter too much here in the end.
So Alpine Wolves' big MVP there was their target selection. We saw the Winston going after the Ana. That's going to be a huge source of healing gone from Mild Esports. And despite all those ults, despite the length of that team fight, Mild Esports has only garnered 39, roughly 40%, and a minute left on point B on Hanamura. So much time, so many ults committed. Alpine Wolves, however, still managing to hold.
And Mela gets dove, but takes out the Monkey with that nice sustain provided from Purple. And now D.Va's kind of caught out there and will most likely fall to the combination of Mela and Purple. Purple just being able to keep Mela alive that whole time. And now they're going to actually stagger the baby D.Va. Massive potential stagger. Purple takes out the baby, and now Mild Esports is down to 30 seconds.
Murph. And Alpine Wolves is going to have a Dragon and a Nano coming online very swiftly. Meanwhile, Esports is going to have a Nano Rage of their own. This is going to be an equally matched fight for this final Hanamura push on point B. Mild Esports has to win a definitive team fight to overcome the excellent defense that Alpine Wolves has been showing up.
Mild Esports pushing onto the point. The Dragons from Mela doesn't get anyone, but kind of splits the team. Now Lucio gets antied from Purple and goes down. Now they don't have that option. They were close to beat, but now they don't have the option for it. But Mild Esports is picking up a lot of kills here and is getting a lot of point percentage. Rick barely contests, and Mild Esports caps this point in overtime.
Unbelievable. With Alpine Wolves showing some incredible defense on Hanamura Point B, we're going to see Alpine Wolves actually manage to finish off that fight, taking over the map control enough to the point that they're able to force Alpine Wolves off. They are going to cap Point B. This is a very interesting situation now, as Alpine Wolves now must complete Hanamura with time left on the clock if they want to win the map outright. Otherwise, it's going to be at best a tie and at worst a win for Mild Esports.
Yeah, and let's look at the defense that's going to come out here shortly from Mild Esports. They have a lot of potential, and there's also potential for the attacking team. We could potentially see a Sim Bastion comp, maybe just a regular Sim comp, or, you know, that classic Goats coming out. But it looks like they're going to run a Sombra Genji dive here. And on defense, we're going to potentially run a Junkrat Hanzo comp. Both team comps, interesting, should be fun to watch.
Loving it. And again, from Alpine Wolves, the strategy that they're going to be running here, if their initial composition can be believed, which I doubt it in the extreme. Of course, we're already seeing changes come out. The Sombra may not necessarily be a bad pick, but looking at the defense from Mild Esports, the Junkrat's going to be huge. They're possibly anticipating some of that Goats. And what we were talking about from the first half of this particular match, Junkrat is a nasty counter to some of those Goats comps you see.
Yeah, if you let Junkrat spam, he can potentially take out the Goats just by farming his Riptire. But Alpine Wolves is running a Sombra dive composition, so the Junkrat might not have been the right pick here in the end. Jeez, already picks off King Rick.
We are loving it. That's going to be Alpine Esports, possibly caught a little off guard by the effectiveness of Juice's Junkrat, who is going to eliminate not one, but two individuals from Alpine Esports.
Yeah, and Alpine Wolves is just going to have to back off here.
We're not going to see any swaps come out, however, meaning that they definitely think that they have hit upon a winning composition. They just have to effect it correctly, so to speak. And there it is, Solitude
now,
making the break into the top left of Hanamura.
Alpine Wolves is coming in here. Reinhardt gets the hack, and let's see if they can follow up on that. He does not go down, but Mel is already 50 to EMP here. And Elodian picks off that Junkrat. And now we're going to see Alpine Wolves kind of swarm the point here, try and find a target to dive. And Nathan has found one. He finds Zen. Zen gets picked off by Elodian, but they might have gone a little too far against this kind of more beefier comp from the side of Mild Esports. Mello, though, coming up on his EMP. We're going to see a push next time with the EMP and the Nano Blade.
Huge
and if you look on the side of Mild Esports, they're not close to Trans. I mean, they're close, but I don't think they're going to get it in time for the Nano Blade from the side of Alpine Wolves. So we're going to potentially see a Nano EMP Blade, or maybe they're just going to try and go for the hack onto the Zen.
It's going to be a race of time. Can Soup Time get their Transcendence before the Nano Blade gets in effect and played on the field?
And here comes the Nano Blade.
No! It's not going to be the case!
Just in time! And Elodian can't cut through that Trans with all that massive healing. And it looks like Mild Esports is holding here.
I have no idea how Soup Time managed to pull that Trans out and then also get quarter of the way to the next one before, literally during the Nanoblade's activation, they pulled off the Trans, they activated it, and it prevented that Nanoblade from getting any kills, which is huge for Mild Esports' defense. They have a massive chance of pulling off a full hold on Hanamura Point A.
And Elodian's going to swap over to the Widow to try and just get picks here. But on the side of Mild Esports, they're coming out on a lot of ults. They have 5 ultimates right here. They have one of the best ult combos in the game, and it looks like they should be able to hold. But Juice kind of gets caught out of position, and he's probably going to die here. Yeah, and he does. And now the Alpine Wolves have a pick to go in, and the EMP comes out. Can they get the Zen though? Now that his health drops so much, the bomb doesn't get anyone. But Nathan knocks 2 off with his Primal Rage. Now Zen goes down to Solitude, and Nathan with 3 on that massive Primal Rage.
So that's what happens when you use your ults preemptively and effectively. Alpine Wolves, with a very significantly smaller ult pool than Mild Esports, manages to take Hanamura point A. They have 4 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock to take a full complete of the map. This could be the start of Alpine Wolves' resurgence, but Esports puts up an amazing defense on point A, really, again, settling into a nice ult bank to stop a potential snowball from Alpine Wolves.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Alpine Wolves pushing down main potentially, or pushing from the right. They're just kind of posturing up, seeing where they want to attack from here. Nathan jumps in, the grab comes out, and so does the Tire. Tire gets 2, Juice picks up 3, and that fight is won for the side of Mild Esports. And Solitude, slight stagger onto him. Lodian trying to get out now. Does get out. But if you look at the ticks there, Alpine Wolves did pick up a tick in that fight.
And that's kind of the thing you gotta watch out for. Despite Mild Esports committing only 2 ults to that particular fight, keeping 3 in the bank, Alpine Wolves still managed to take a tick from them regardless, which in this particular Hanamura situation is huge, despite Mild Esports racking up the picks on this latest push.
Yeah, it looks like Alpine Wolves is just going to immediately fall back here and resets.
Yeah, nasty bit of a situation, but Alpine Wolves does use that to build up a little bit more of that ult percentage, running that classic double sniper dive.
On my sight.
You know, Lodian pulls off the sights. They're just going to charge right on the point here, try and give some space for their snipers. Nathan jumps onto that Ana on the high ground and picks up Budget Jonak. Massive purple from Purple himself. And scrappy fight though. We'll see if Mild Esports can hold on. Zen goes down, and it looks like Ryan will go down here. Can they finish him off? He actually gets the nano and stays alive. But Mela and Nathan both pick up kills here, but Nathan goes down, and it looks like Mild Esports will hold on to this one. Swapping over to that Reaper for the self-sustain.
The baby Tifa's fighting on point is a bit of an interesting situation. Always love seeing some kind of scrappy nonsense coming out. So that's going to be Mild Esports repelling an attack from Alpine Wolves that used a truckload of ults. XYS switching onto the Reaper, doing so much damage output and work for them that they're actually going to build 90% to a Death Blossom. Ridiculous for a stall. And Alpine Wolves is going to come into this next fight with only a Nano Dragons to speak of. Meanwhile, Mild Esports is looking at a bomb, a Junkrat ult, and the Death Blossom. 3 potentially huge stalling ultimates, and one of them
comes the Tire. Going in the backline, gets 2, and that pretty much just immediately shuts down that attack from Alpine Wolves.
With a minute left, Alpine Wolves now has to wait for another big stagger as Solitude goes in. Purple and Elodian too! Unbelievable, 50 seconds now. Mild Esports in a great position to keep this point and take the map from Alpine Wolves.
Yeah, and let's see what Alpine Wolves does here on this last push.
They've switched over to Elodian on the McCree, meaning that they're hoping to get some of that possibly anti-attack, maybe even anti-Reaper potential there. And there it is going to be Divas, Lucio, and McCree. The point, this is the Death Blossom
but
coming out.
Elodian stuns the Death Blossom in the back, but Reaper stays alive and actually picks off Elodian. And Purple goes down here. It looks like Mild Esports will hold this. Scrappy fight though. Who knows what will happen? Mela picks off the Ana from Mild Esports, and Mela gets another kill onto the Monkey, but Solitude loses his mech in the fight.
And King Rick is going to be one of the few remaining members capable of some serious stall from Alpine Wolves. Solitude does get back in their mech! They're going to have a chance to stall for Alpine Wolves as Elodian also on the Tracer switching over last minute. They're going to drop a bomb on the point!
Solitude, but it gets bubbled, but it still picks off the Reaper. Nathan now on that ball, see if he can stay alive long. Solitude, D-Max, dies. Big slam from Nathan though. Rick and Nathan both alive here. Potential for Alpine Wolves to stay alive and win this fight. Nathan swinging around, but Juice!
Massive
Juice gets
tire!
free!
Unbelievable. Mild Esports 100% deserving their victory on Hanamura as they take the perfect defense, taking a map, making sure that this is a match that Alpine Wolves will not be able to take from them easily.
Yeah, and Juice with the well-deserved play of the game.
So I, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, have to duck for this point in time. You're going to be left with the ineffable, the effervescent, the perfect David to take you through the rest of the match. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for the rest of these two matches.
Alright. Spidey
Hello, hello.
making his debut.
Yeah, my casting debut taken over for Threepwood.
You got
It'll be
big
my,
shoes to fill.
It'll be yeah, definitely. It'll be my first time, so we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it though. Pretty good game. That was a really good hold from Mild Esports there at the end. That was pretty nutty. Juice came in with some really big bombs. He got about 2 or 3 like 2Ks at least with those rip tires. That's pretty huge. So curious to see what kind of map they're going to choose next. Maybe a reverse sweep from Mild Esports.
Yeah, potential.
I think that would be super fun to watch. I'd definitely love to see a Game 5. Looks like they're finally coming alive here.
Yep, and next is going to be Escort. So the choices for Escort are... What are they, Spidey? Do you know off the top of your head?
The choices for Escort are going to be Dorado or Watchpoint Gibraltar.
So both kind of dive-favored maps. We'll see what happens, though.
I'm not really sure which teams favor which maps, so it's kind of up in the air for now. That being said, I think Mild has been running a bit more dive than Alpine Wolves today, so maybe they'll go for Watchpoint. Actually, they just won, so it's going to be Alpine's choice. So maybe it'll be Dorado so that they can run some more goats, or some more tank-heavy comps to let Natham and Solitude pop off as they have been all day.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here on the next map and see what they choose. So they're going to choose Watchpoint Gibraltar, a very dive-focused map. We will most likely see dive, maybe some Widow coming out from both teams, because there are a lot of good sightlines on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see Elodian on that Widow. He's a nutty hit scan. Everybody knows he's done some pretty amazing things, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mela actually on the Widow. Mela was actually recently picked up for, to Alpine Wolves for his Widow play, so I would actually expect him to see him on the Widow and Elodian kind of moving more towards that flex DPS role.
I didn't know that actually. Yeah, I know Elodian's pretty flexy, so we'll see how that goes. Definitely looking forward to seeing Mela pop off on Widow. Making their debut game, right? This is their first game in OWP.
This is their
so
this first match in OWP.
definitely making a strong showing so far. Should be getting going any minute now.
Okay, and here we are traveling to Watchpoint Gibraltar. Well, we're arriving here.
Initiating match.
Yeah, this will definitely be a fun map to watch. I think it's quite different from a lot of the other ones that we've seen.
Yeah, there's a lot of high ground,
Yeah, it has
a lot of open Widow sightlines.
I definitely think Gibraltar has the most high ground out of any map in the game, really. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams take advantage of that or don't.
Yes, we will see what they pick in just a moment here.
Ready for battle.
Looks like we've got the double sniper comp coming out from Alpine Wolves there. Curious if they really are.
We're not gonna
There's
see
no way,
the
there's no
Bastion
way there's
Tour.
a Bastion Tour. I would love to see it, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, and it looks like from Alpine Wolves, we're going to see the double sniper with Mela on the Hanzo and Elodian on the Widow. So, Spidey, you were right.
Yeah,
We're going to see Elodian
I'm
on the
definitely
Widow.
looking forward to seeing Helen on the Hans, because, you know, still a sniper, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Mild Esports now swapping over to more traditional dive off. Unfortunately, the Tor win.
Yeah, we're going to see the Widow Genji.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this Widow battle between Elodian and XYS.
And both teams just kind of posturing up, trying to find a potential target for the tanks to dive onto. And Mild Esports trying to push that cart a little bit.
They've done a pretty good job of taking this corner so far, but I think Alpine Wolves are trying to play smart. They know it's better to win. And Elodian.
And Elodian already picks off that Widowmaker, yeah.
Yeah, huge headshot. I think Alpine Wolves is going to push a little, try to get this back. Another one.
From Elodian. But the res comes out onto that Widowmaker. Yeah. And Nathan finishes off the monkey for a clean hold from the side of Alpine Wolves.
Alpine Wolves definitely with the ult advantage here. A little over halfway to the monkey ult.
Yeah, and Rick already has his Valkyrie, so let's see if that's going to be used in this fight. Loading does get picked off by XYS. Let's see if the res comes out. Doesn't look like it was in a resable position either, and Solitude gets demeched here. The bomb comes out from the side of Mild Esports, gets no one. Nathan gets low though. See if Rick can keep him alive here. And Nathan does go down to Rita Rabbit. But Elodian returns the favor to XYS after respawning. And Mela picks off the Mercy. But the Zen on Mild Esports frags Rick, but Mela picks up their Zen. And so it's just a really scrappy fight here. We'll see how that turns out. Mela gets a D-Mech, gets the kill onto the Genji, and Solitude finishes off the Baby Diva with his bomb.
Excellent push from Mild Esports. It looked like AW. They are coming up on some pretty big ults though.
Yeah, they're gonna have that Mercy and Blade coming out, and they're gonna have Primal and Trans, as well as Walls. William pops his Walls early here to try and give them an advantage before the fight starts. Monkey and Diva dive in from the side of Mild Esports, and the counter dive comes in from Nathan. But Nathan goes down to the Diva, and Rick is able to get the Diva, or is gonna get the res. And Purple picks off the Mercy as long as, and Elodian also picked off that Genji, and it looks like another clean hold from Alpine Wolves here in this fight.
Managed to pick off the juice right before he killed Rick as he was rezzing. And with that, you know, if Juice had been able to kill Rick right there.
Yeah, they would be down 2.
Yeah, they would have had to have for AW, and it would have been a different fight.
Now AW coming on a lot of ults. Let's see. Oh, Rick getting a little bit low there. Gets out. Nathan has to pop his Primal though. Kind of gets forced into it with the Discord on him. Getting a little bit low, but it looks like Rick's going to be able to keep him alive and farm his Valkyrie off of that.
5 ults on the side of Mild.
Both Valks coming out from both teams. The bomb comes out, gets 2, but Solitudes gets 1, and the res is coming out from Rick right now. So it evens up the fight, but then Rita Rabbit immediately responds. And XYS gets a kill onto Elodian. And it looks like Rick might die here. He's getting very low. Yeah, doesn't manage to escape, but Nathan counters that with his own kill onto Richie. He's trying to push the cart. Pops Trans just to keep alive. To keep everyone alive. XYS almost dies to the Trans. Purple still has the Trans, but Juice also still has his own Blade. Bomb comes out from XYS, gets no one, but does pick off Mela. And manages to stay alive here. Here comes from the blade. Genji very low. Manages to, goes down to Elodian. Elodian gets 2, and the trans comes out. So no value out of the blade there.
I think that's pretty unlucky. If XYS had managed to get this purple, he would have forced an upper
Yeah.
through. Instead of gotten a clean blade.
Yeah. Yeah, Elodian definitely saved that fight there. He got 3, put on his man pants on the Tracer side, and just tried to carry as hard as he could there.
Most definitely. He went pretty crazy there, getting a lot of hits. So we'll see. I'm curious what kind of defense we're going to see from
Initiating
Mild now.
match.
Because they don't have very far to go for AW, you know, to get that win. So they'll have to play pretty defensive here on the side of Mild. I hope AW makes my dreams come true and we see a Bastion Torp comp. I think that that would be wonderful. Let's get some
That
spikes
is
up and
always the dream. That's always the dream.
I honestly think, you know, it might work if they could honestly just cheese it. You know, I'm not a huge fan of it, but they could just cheese it with like a double shield, you know, an Ana, and
Ready for battle.
go with a Bastion.
Hey,
Just take
Spidey,
one
you need
each
to
one.
turn your mic up.
I will do my best. I'll bring it closer to my face.
Okay. Maybe check the slider on OBS potentially and see maybe
There
if
we
it's
go. I think
a little lower.
that should be better.
All right, cool.
I'm new to this. I am a dumb
That's all right.
man. That's okay. We're all learning together. We're all learning.
Yeah, we're all
together.
learning together.
That's what OWP is all about, you know? It's all about learning, all
Mhm.
about practice. So it looks like we are going to see Solitude swapping over. They're going Hagarisa for AW. Looks like they're going to camp that cart pretty heavily and just try to tank through it.
No bashing with it though. But yeah, we're
Unlucky.
gonna see the double sniper come out. Oh, and they're swapping over to dive too.
One
so double
day,
sniper
David,
is
I
coming out
believe. We'll see it.
from the side of Alpine Wolves. Nathan going on top, trying to take control of blue boxes, and they're just trying to get a little bit of cart pressure here. While Nathan just kind of jumps to pressure the blue boxes.
AW already has the cart underneath the bridge, which is huge. That marks the halfway point, and it's gonna force Mild Esports to drop a little. They have to give up this high ground in order to stop the cart. That's gonna put them at a huge.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
disadvantage.
drop here.
They
And
know
Nathan just keeps pressuring them off.
they're trying
constantly
to have the
just-
best of both worlds, keeping the high ground and stalling the cart. But I just don't think it's gonna be very possible.
And Hobbs drops 2 contests, then followed by Rita Rabbit. Rita Rabbit gets the nano already from Richie. Pushes in the backline a little bit, but Rick pops the Valkyrie. See if the snipers on both sides can get, and he picks. Nathan goes in. Purple gets Rita Rabbit though, and both monkeys fall here. Purple gets another one. Gets juice this time.
Huge
And Rick
XYS
looking for that
taking
oh
away.
large res.
It looks
but
like Mild Esports
was
is
a
actually
little
gonna be able
too
to
aggressive.
stabilize here.
Yeah.
XYS popping off on the Widow, getting 3 kills right there, and demeching the Diva, or helping demech the Diva. That's pretty big.
Yeah, but look at the cart. They have 2.5 minutes to push it all the way, and they just need a smidge more.
It's about 10 feet right there. That is going to be tough to hold for Mild Esports. They do have a massive ult advantage here, though.
Yeah, and I think Alpine Wolves might potentially try and just kind of push in and just try and get them to use their ults in this fight, but we'll see what happens.
I think that's what they were trying to do last fight. The minute they saw the nano on Rita Rabbit, they kind of backed off. I think they were trying to wean some ults out of Mild Esports. but
And
they built them up
Solitude,
so
with a
fast.
potential large bomb, gets the monkey and the trans out of it. And now
That's
Nathan pops
huge.
Primal,
And the Zen
and
ult
Zen's
is
on the low
out.
ground, and Solitude's going to be able to potentially pick up that Ana. Nathan with 3 or 4 with
It
the
looks like
Primal.
that will be it
looks
for
like-
Mild Esports.
This will be the match going to Alpine Wolves. A stall from Rita Rabbit. It's not over yet though. And
think-
Soup Time and
I
Rita
think what
Rabbit go
happened
down.
there
Alpine
was
Wolves
Rita Rabbit going
has
down
won the
so
match.
early was a huge blow to them because he
Yeah,
had that
to the
primal.
bomb.
Yeah, it would have been a
He did
huge
have the
stall,
primal,
you know.
and also Supi Time had
Yeah.
to use the trans there from the bomb and got forced onto the low ground with the trans, and then got picked up by Solitude because of that.
Definitely
look
two
at
of the
this,
most valuable ults
juggling.
being used at once.
Oh, perfect play from Nathan there on that Primal Rage. And the match does go to the side of Alpine Wolves.
Yep, that's going to be an Alpine Wolves win for their first game of the season. Reigning champs from last season, so we're expecting good things from them again. Mild Esports, though, with a fantastic map on Hanamura. That was excellent to watch. They had a really, really good defense. And I think if they just, they had a couple unlucky early picks on them on a couple of these maps. And I think if they could have just, avoided those for a little bit longer, or if some things had just happened, a little bit more in their favor, they might have been able to turn some of these maps around, or at least extend them and make it a bit closer. But definitely a good showing from both teams.
Yeah. So with that, me and Spidey are going to sign off. Be sure to follow the Overwatch Pretenders Twitch channel at Overwatch Pretenders, and also to join the Discord. The Discord, where's the Discord at?
There's a
It's
link down
linked.
below, right
Yeah,
below the
it's.
Twitch, and there's also an invite link on our website, overwatchpretenders.com, if you're interested.
And we also have a YouTube where we upload the match VODs, and we also have a Twitter where they will tweet out all the matches.
And look forward to the season 2 of the Pretenders Pod, our podcast. That's going to be starting up pretty soon here, so should be fun. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'm Spidey, and this is David. And
Yep, you can check out my Twitch channel at HoldMyDavid.
Definitely
I
go
should
show
be
this man
streaming
some love.
tomorrow. Yep. And with that, we are signing off.
All right, thanks for showing up, guys.